The Finance Committee appreciates this opportunity to speak to the town meeting members in summary of the budget and financial concerns at the core of our charge. As has become customary, I would like you to briefly address where we are now, what is planned for the next year, and what the committee sees on the horizon in the coming years that should be considered during this town meeting. As a past Finance Committee member, Bill Mullen would say, every year is like a snowflake. No two are the same. Therefore, as we begin our new fiscal year in just a few short days, we find ourselves in an interesting and unprecedented time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has not only impacted our town, but has impacted our state, country, and reality, the whole world as we know it. As we gather here this evening, all the strengths of previous years are currently still in place. Our AAA bond rating is still intact. Our tax collection rate is excellent. The economic indicators we use to measure our town against our country and our Commonwealth all compare favorably. Our level of reserves represented on this slide has a combination of free cash of $5.75 million, stabilization fund of $1.95 million, and Acton's share of Acton-Boxborough Regional School District's excess and deficiency of $4.08 million. Though declining, is still closer to the committee's recommended ceiling than to the floor. Our reserves equal 11.2% of the municipal budget, and 2.02% will be used for FY21. With that solid foundation, the proposed budget for fiscal year 2021 is $105 million, which represents a 6.4% increase over FY20 budget. The town budget is up $1.07 million, or 2.34%, largely driven by an assessment increase from the Minuteman Career and Technical High School to $1.7 million. Kelly's Corner Infrastructure Article 5 and Sidewalks and Traffic Calming Article 6. While the total budget of Acton-Boxborough Regional School District increased by $5.9 million after accounting for revenue, reserve use, and cost shifts per the regional agreement, Acton's assessment increased by $4.3 million, or almost 6.6%. Where is the money going to come from to meet this budget? Well, as usual, the lion's share comes from an increase in taxes through Proposition 2.5. New growth, the value of new building and improvements not previously included on the tax rolls. Local receipts, including excise tax, permits, and other fees, and reserves use, which is represented as a negative number on the slide. This year's budget looks to use the same amount in reserves as FY20's budget. Looking back to the first slide, which showed a declining balance in reserves, it is preferred that reserves use should decelerate as well. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the unknowns that go along with it, this may not be the case in coming years, and reserves use may very well increase. The result of this is the average single-family tax bill will increase 7.21% in FY21. One of the main responsibilities of the Finance Committee is to look past the immediate budget concerns and to take a longer view at how actions taken today impact the town in the future. On page 18 of the warrant, you will find the final consensus-driven multi-year model that is the main work output of the Acton Leadership Group. With all the inputs and projections we have now, an operating override is not anticipated at this time. Reserves and reserve use are deliberated and, as a result, are taken into account when budgets are created. The main message from the Finance Committee to the ALG is to continue to pay close attention to compensation, represent about 3/4 of the total expenditures, capital costs, and the impact on the taxpayer. Capital has been broken into two discrete approaches, those which will require a debt exclusion, also referred to as a capital override, and those improvements which can be handled through operating budgets, CPC funds, and other sources. A debt exclusion is over and above Proposition 2.5 level and is for a specific purpose and comes off the tax when the debt is repaid. Debt exclusions require a 2/3 vote by both town meeting and at the ballot. It is important to note previous debt exclusions will be rolling off in coming years. The two recent projects that were handled by debt exclusions are the North Acton Fire Station and the new Twin School Consolidated School. These projects approved by the town this past December represent the majority of the tax bill increase we will see in FY21. Projected new combined debt, shown in yellow, though it will spike, is not inconsistent with previous debt service burdens the town has shouldered. The other type of capital costs come in the form of capital improvement plans. The town and the school district have taken two different approaches to their capital improvement plans. The town's approach is to execute projects within the operating budget, leveraging the use of CPC funds and smaller capital requests. We should pride ourselves on our forward-looking retirement of OPEB liability. The town has done an excellent job investing in this fund, which covers benefits for retirees outside of their pensions. We encourage the town to continue in this practice and encourage the schools to find a way to tackle this liability as well. In conclusion, Acton continues on a strong financial footing. This year of change has brought a fresh set of eyes to the budget process, as well as a redoubling of efforts for longer-term planning, which is a welcome change in the view of the Finance Committee. We appreciate the professionals, town staff, and the dedicated educators of the Acton-Boxborough Regional School District and Minuteman Tech for their work, and we must maintain the balance between requested service levels and the resources to meet them, which are by definition limited. Lastly, I want to point out that this year's Finance Committee vote for the budget was not unanimous, as several members felt that more could have been cut out. However, the Finance Committee recommends this budget.